Hey everyone, we're about a week and a half into the Eat at Home challenge and hubby is going to be making dinner tonight. I offered to pick up some ingredients for him because I was going for my morning walk and I was planning to go grocery shopping anyway. I'm going to show you what he requested, but he didn't want me to pick up the main thing because then I would know what it is. So here is what he asked for. A lemon, bacon, asparagus, rosemary, and mayonnaise. Based on those ingredients, I'm having a little bit of a hard time figuring out what it is he's going to be making. He was a bit concerned that it wouldn't be enough, and he was thinking maybe he should make something else. And I also asked him if he was going to make rice or anything like that, but he said this dish doesn't have that in it. So for a while I thought maybe it would be salmon or maybe mussels, but I'm not too sure.
Here's the dinner hubby made. He made fish wrapped in bacon with asparagus. It looks yummy. When we were at the team retreat, we had these rice bowls for lunch every day. They were so good. I decided to try to recreate my own. So this is just a bed of steamed rice. I've got roasted sweet potato on top, roasted beets. I roasted those this morning. We've got some fresh dill and some basil, some edamame that's just from frozen. I've got sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, feta cheese, and some avocado hummus. Hubby put pretty much the same thing on his, but he added a few other things like pork floss and Caesar dressing. I think he added some sriracha, so this is really like whatever you feel like putting in your rice bowl, and feels really good, feels fun. I'm also gonna have a couple of these. So some of you may know that I don't like mushrooms, but these are like mushroom crisps. So they're almost like chips. They're like dehydrated mushrooms. They're from T&T, and my friend actually bought a bag and shared some with me. They're quite delicious actually, but they feel very I don't know, like yeet hay, which is hot, I guess. Like it's a hot type of food. I feel like if I have too many, I'll get a nosebleed or something like that. So I'm just gonna have a couple and maybe hubby will try it too. I do really like these. I don't know if I would buy them myself. And in terms of mushrooms, it's really not the flavor that I dislike, it's more the texture. We're having rice bowls again for lunch today. Everything's the same as yesterday, mostly leftovers, except I made a bit more rice and I also made some scrambled eggs. Oh, I wanted to put nutritional yeast on it, so I haven't added that yet, but yesterday I added that as well after I assembled my bowl and did my vlogging. It is hubby's turn to cook dinner again tonight, and he made this pasta. It looks really good, smells really good too. It's got anchovies in it, onions, some parsley on top, and some white wine. We opened a bottle of wine that we got from Prince Edward County. So we're gonna have some wine with dinner as well. I made shrimp and herb risotto for dinner tonight. This is with the leftover herbs that hubby purchased for his 2 nights of cooking. I really enjoyed using things up that we had in the fridge. So I was gonna put some other stuff in it, but I ended up just putting in all of our parsley, most of our remaining dill, and all of our remaining basil plant. That thing was not surviving, so I just went ahead and used it all up. We haven't had risotto in ages. Since we had all of the herbs and I had the shrimp and we also had some white wine remaining, I thought I would go ahead and make this. It is hubby's cooking night number 3 and he made mussels! It looks and smells so good. I can't wait to try it. He went to St. Lawrence Market today to buy all of the ingredients, and he actually whipped this up pretty quickly. It smells delicious. Hubby just got home with this parcel from Alo. It's a dinner for 2 that he was treated to by his workplace, people at his workplace. So we are going to enjoy it tomorrow because it's 6 p.m. already and I have a writing session at 7. So I didn't want to rush through it. We have to heat it up and all of that. But hubby is off early tomorrow, so we're going to have this feast. Here is the menu: Hokkaido sea scallop sashimi, rigatoni with black truffle, bread and butter, beef short rib, and millefeuille parfait. The food smells really, really good. This isn't technically eat at home eligible, but it's kind of like we cooked it because we had to bake it in the oven. It took around, I don't know, 40 minutes, and we still have to assemble everything. So we've got the short ribs in the middle, the rigatoni on the right-hand side, and the bread on the left. Here is the Hokkaido scallop appetizer that was in the fridge while the rest of the stuff was baking in the oven. Here is hubby's plated creation, Hokkaido scallops. And let me walk you over to mine. Here's what I did. We have enough for a little bit of leftovers. So this is like a half portion. Hubby and I were too full last night, so we saved this for today. This is the dessert that came with that aloe dinner. This is a millefeuille parfait. It's like a tongue twister. So there's a crumble that you just sprinkle on top.
Oh, small chunk. Should I break it?
Okay. Oh, there's a lot of crumble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So deep.
You did it.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Everyone, it is Thursday and I just passed by the writing studio for the last time. We are giving up the studio because who knows when we're going to be back to in-person classes. So it was a little bit bittersweet. The studio still feels the same to me, but of course it's starting to look very different. So I went to drop off my keys and I'm gonna head back home now. When I was at the writing studio today, I passed by this chocolatier, and it's a place I've been meaning to try since I started working at the writing studio, but time kind of just has a way of getting away from people, so I never ended up trying it. And since it was my last time at the writing studio today, I figured I would pop in and grab a couple, even though we are still technically on the Eat at Home challenge and we've already made an exception, but I figured, you know what? We've got to make exceptions in life when appropriate, and this is one of those times. So it's packaged up really nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and tear into it and show you what I got. Here are the two I chose, and I think what I'll do is cut them in half because hubby's not home yet. The one on the left is the salted caramel, and the one on the right is coconut. These are, I believe, handmade or hand rolled, very similar to truffles, and the texture is like this, so very soft. They're actually beautiful, and if we enjoy them, I mean, we can go back. There's nothing stopping us from just taking the subway and buying some treats. But knowing us, we generally do stick to downtown, so we shall see. Here is what the salted caramel one looks like. Oh, it looks so good. Let me try it. Mmm. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's like a little ball of caramel. It's so good. Okay, let me cut the other one. And here is the coconut one.
Oh, looks so creamy and delicious. That is really, really good. Not like a truffle at all. It's literally like a ball of caramel. We didn't get the dark chocolate ones, so maybe those would be more like truffles. They're like really, really creamy and just so, so good. Mmm. So yeah, it would definitely be worth the Subway trip. Hey everyone, it is the last Friday of the Eat at Home challenge, and wow, this month flew by. You will have seen that hubby was in charge of 3 dinners this month. It actually ends up being 4 because he agreed to barbecue on Sunday, so this coming Sunday. And even though I do enjoy cooking from time to time, I also love when I don't have to cook, as it turns out. It has been such a pleasure to have hubby plan the meal and buy the ingredients and execute on the meal. It's been really delicious. Hubby tends to choose recipes that are different from the ones that I usually gravitate towards, so that's been a nice way of like naturally branching out without like forcing myself to think of like what can I cook that's different from what I would normally cook. So for the first meal, he made bacon wrapped halibut with this really delicious, sort of like a lemon hollandaise sauce. It was very, very, very delicious. I loved that like very citrusy, lemony kick. It was a very filling meal, and that actually lasted us 2 days. I was a bit worried about like reheating the fish. Sometimes the texture changes a bit and it's like a little bit more dry. But the second day was actually fine. It was very, very, very tasty. Hubby cooked the fish perfectly. It was just a really nice meal. I was very proud of him. The second dish that hubby made was an anchovy pasta. So I would have never thought to make this dish. And for this one, we actually went to the grocery store together and we picked out like a little 50-gram container of anchovies. I was like, oh, how much do you need? This should be enough because anchovies are like pretty strong. So like I think 1 would be enough, but he checked the recipe and he actually needed 2. So 100 grams of anchovies. So I started getting worried like, oh, is this gonna be really fishy? Am I gonna like this dish? It was awesome. It was so good. It didn't taste like overly fishy. Of course, you could taste the anchovies because there was quite a bit in it, but mixed in with the pasta, it actually didn't seem like a whole lot. So that was really, really tasty as well. And that's definitely a dish I would love to have again. The third and final dish that he chose for the month of November was a mussels dish. So you saw in the footage leading up to this that I thought maybe he had chosen mussels for the first dish, and I think that may have influenced him to choose mussels for the last dish. This was so delicious. It was like a white wine sauce. It had fennel in it, which was so tasty. I actually love fennel, but I haven't made it in years. I don't know, I just kind of like forgot about it. We had it with some fresh bread that he bought, so we got to like soak up all the juices. And this meal actually lasted 2 days as well. We finished all of the mussels the first day, but the second day we had like the sauce as a soup, and we had that with like more bread, and I think we had fries the next day as well, just from the Instant Pot. So we stretched that meal out as well over 2 days, and it was just so tasty. So hubby ended up choosing 3 seafood based dishes, which was interesting, and we've actually had quite a bit of seafood this month. We've had frozen shrimp. We had these like mackerel dumplings that I wasn't a huge fan of. I'm actually not a huge fan of mackerel, but hubby doesn't mind it. So I actually should have given him all of the dumplings because mackerel is really a fish that I can't stomach it. I just don't like the taste. And it's funny because I love pretty much like any other kind of fish. We've been having a lot of tuna melts, which is what I'm having for dinner tonight. So we've had it on like different types of bread. We had it on some cheese buns. We also had it on like a cheese loaf, like a baguette type thing. And tonight we're just having it on sliced cheese bread, just like canned tuna. I did use albacore for this one, so it was a little more fancy. And it's got diced celery, diced pickles, some mayonnaise, some Caesar dressing, some celery salt, and some mustard. Very, very good. Very delicious. I think we had tuna melts 3 or 4 times this month, twice for lunch and also twice for dinner. This month's Eat at Home challenge was fantastic. I really loved that hubby volunteered to cook, and he actually volunteered during one of our family couch times, which is our like once a month relationship check-in that was rebranded because relationship check-in sounded too official for hubby. So now it's called Family Couch Time. We just kind of sit on the couch and we chat. It is like a timed chat though, so we kind of like share how we felt about things that have happened over the past month, what we're excited about or what we'd like to see more of in the coming months. Just some space for us to like talk about anything that's either bothering us or like making us really happy. We've been doing them for over a year now. They've really helped with our communication and just like our understanding of one another because we're so different, and also our compassion for one another. Our communication hasn't always been the best, especially early on in our relationship because we're so different. I really like to like hash things out and like, you know, if we're mad, we should talk about it and just like get our feelings out there. Just like a very, I guess, like aggressive form of communication, whereas hubby is very avoidant. He feels a lot of resistance towards talking about things. He really would rather just like ignore the issue and have it go away on his own. Not that I like confrontation, but I just feel like confrontation and conflict is kind of like necessary in close relationships, whereas hubby feels like conflict and confrontation are threats to relationships. So yeah, very different styles. But now that we have this relationship check-in or family couch time, it's really like eased our communication process. Hubby still doesn't really love them, which is why we buy treats, but I think he's gotten more used to them. Like, I don't think he dreads them like he did when we first started. I think now he finds them maybe okay. Lots of good came out of last month's family couch time because hubby took on cooking, and I've asked him if he wants to continue with like a few days here and there each month, and I think he's okay with it. We choose days where he's like off from work, so it's low stress, and other days I take care of the cooking, but I do a lot of like simple things, as you can see like this, so it's not always like a long drawn out process for me. And I'm also more used to cooking, so I can like whip up something that's like quick and easy, although hubby actually cooked really fast. Maybe the longest dish was an hour and a half, so it's not like it takes him like half the day to cook, but I think it takes like more mental energy for him to think of what to cook and to research the recipes and read them over and to buy the ingredients and all of that.
I am all done with dinner and I am about to open the Tea Haus advent calendar. I'm just curious as to what format it's in and whether or not I'll be able to put the tea into the cubby system. I think it'll be the same as previous years, but just in case it's different, I want to have like an evening to kind of think about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. I'm just gonna take a quick peek inside and not like pull everything out or anything like that. I was very excited for Vlogmas, and then things just got so busy that I kind of lost a bit of the excitement just because I was wrapped up in getting stuff done for my paid jobs and whatnot. But now that I am thinking about getting things ready, putting the advent calendar together in the cubby system, I am excited again. So here we go. Ooh, smells good. Ooh, they have tissue. I think that is new. Oh, yay! This is what it looks like. So everything is indeed in these little packages with number on them. I'm gonna try not to look at the flavors, but I think these will fit nicely. And then there is also this tea ball, a little infuser. There are these, I think they're like hooks in case you want to hang them up. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. I don't have anywhere to hang them. I could like put up a string, but I think the cubby system will work well for me.
Clearly, we bought an AeroGarden. I've just set it up. It's really bright. I've got it set to turn on at 5 a.m. every day, so it wakes up around the time that I do. That way it'll turn off at 10 o'clock. We're growing herbs, so 17 hours of light. This is the order I planted it in. The Genovese basil, mint, curly parsley, thyme, Thai basil, and dill. I put the tall ones on the outside, the medium, and then the short. AeroGarden recommends putting the tall in the back and the short in the front, but I got the slim model, so everything, as you can see, is all in a row. I was taking a peek into the pods, and I have a feeling there are no seeds in the mint pod, because as I was looking in, I saw seeds in all of them except for that one. So I have read that that's, I think, a pretty common issue, that some of the pods just come without seeds as like a quality control thing, I guess. In the US, I think there's like this guarantee where you can contact AeroGarden and they send you a replacement pod, but I got this at Costco, so that probably isn't in effect. And if everything else germinates and sprouts, then I don't mind like one of them not. But I may buy some seeds and just like pop them in there. I am about to work on filling the advent calendar, and originally I was planning to do something like this. So have the 4 chocolates in here, and then I would just like put the tea in front. But I don't like how you can see what's going on in the back here. And these bags are small enough that what I'm thinking now is that I use the little advent bags that I made last year, because I really do love these. I love the way it gives like a uniform look. So I'm thinking instead, I'm gonna pop the tea in here, and I'm gonna pop the 4 Lindor apples in here, and then I'll just pop this whole thing in like so. So it'll be very similar to last year. So this one is technically done, but I'm actually gonna switch it out because I don't like the chocolates I put in there. And then 24 and 25 I'm probably gonna remember, but I'm hoping that the rest I will forget. And if you recall from last year, I bought these little baggies from Dollarama, and they actually didn't have enough of the same shade of craft paper. So these are actually slightly different. This one is a little bit more orange, I guess, and then this one is a bit more muted. So last year what I did was I put the orange ones all up the middle. This year I'm just gonna do it random, see how it turns out, and if I don't like it, I'll adjust. It is day 2 of the AeroGarden experiment, and nothing's happening yet, of course, but I did bring a couple of plants over to share the light. You see a lot of like brown spots on the leaves and such. I'm gonna see if it makes a difference over here with the full spectrum light. And this little baby that I propagated a while back has not grown at all. And all of its brothers and sisters that are still attached to the mother plant are huge. So I'm gonna give it some TLC and see if I can encourage it to grow. The AeroGarden is on a timer, and I was really excited when it shut off yesterday at 10 p.m. as planned. It was the perfect timing because I was getting ready to go to bed. And then this morning, I usually wake up before my alarm. I've got an alarm set for 5:30 and also at 6 a.m. But my 6 a.m. alarm is kind of like it senses if I'm like almost awake, I think. I don't know how it works, but it can go off anytime between 5:30 and 6. So when I woke up today, it was before my 6 a.m. alarm. I don't know what time it was because I didn't check, and I turn off my 5:30 alarm on the weekends, but I knew it was sometime between 5 and 6 because I could see some light streaming in from around our door, and I knew that the AeroGarden had turned on. It's really bright, as you can tell. It lights up the entire room pretty much, so it's very obvious when it's on. I have a ton of footage, so I am going to end off this vlog now. By the time you watch this, it will either be November 30th or December 1st. I haven't decided when I'm going to post this yet, but either way, I will be pretty much starting Vlogmas by the time you watch this. So this is going to be the last vlog before Vlogmas. So from December 1st to December 31st, I will be vlogging every single day. I will be recording clips, and then I'm going to edit the vlogs together and post them periodically. I am so excited for Vlogmas, and I'm so excited to open the advent calendar. I hope you're all having a great entryway into the holiday season, and I will see you all very soon for the start of Vlogmas. Bye.